Hello, my name is Rich Galassini.
And I'm Hugh Sung.
Welcome to Piano Tastings.
This is a show where we're going to explore what makes pianos sound so beautiful and yet so unique.
You know, Hugh, you and I spend a lot of time talking about pianos.
Too much time.
Go figure, go figure. So let's start out with this. Let's take two pianos, the same model, the same brand.
Which would sound the same, right? You'd think the same
You
model,
would
same
think,
brand,
wouldn't
right?
you think?
Sure, so.
But they're prepared differently.
Okay, what does that mean?
Well, preparation has everything to do with the performance of the instrument. Remember, there's 88 different machines in one box. So we have to make sure that the hammers are square to the strings. The strings are all the same level. They're regulated perfectly.
A
lot of stuff.
A lot of stuff.
And then we'll adjust the felts.
Why would we want to prepare the piano? What would be the purpose? Why can't they all be prepared the same?
Well, they can be, but different purposes. If we want to use one of these models, because this piano, the 225, can work great in my home, it can work great on the stage.
Ah, okay, so immediately we have a size difference. A smaller space for a home and a much larger space for the stage. So.
And in my home, I might want to play a little more intimately, where on the stage, you're concerned about getting to that person in the auditorium that's
waking them up.
Yes, that's 50 yards away.
There you go. Right,
Am I right?
Yeah, yeah. So tell us a little bit about the pianos that we're going to be taking a look at.
Very good. So Bösendorfer, made in Vienna since 1828. The Bösendorfer was first discovered by Franz Liszt.
Yes.
They became the maker of pianos for the Viennese Empire.
Oh, Bösendorfer.
Absolutely. No, not at all. And Vienna in the 19th century, I mean, everybody who was anybody who was every one of those, anybody who was anybody and involved as a composer, as a musician, as a performer, was in Vienna at least part of their life. So really the capital of classical music in the 19th century.
Very cool.
And the Boesendorfer, to an awful lot of people, is the sound of high classical to romantic music.
So how large are these 225s?
Yes, 225 centimeters equals 7'4".
Wow. Okay, so these are kind of nice, not quite 9-foot concert grands, but they would fit very nicely on stage, on those stages, or in a rather sizable living room, right?
Sure.
Okay, so let's do this. I'm going to play both of these pianos. I'm going to leave it to you to see if you can decide or to discover which of these pianos is prepared for the stage and which of them is prepared for a living room.
Good deal. So Hugh, let me ask you a question. You played both instruments.
Yes.
Did they feel differently to you?
They really do. It's amazing when you prepare pianos differently. They actually will affect how rapidly they respond on your fingers. I mean, like the one that was prepared for the stage felt like it exploded on my fingers. I felt so much power.
Right.
I didn't have to work as hard to get a really nice, bright, commanding sound. The other one, on the other hand, if I wanted to shade things more delicately, I felt like I had much more room, that it wouldn't explode onto my hands, but I could shape the sound more carefully. Really, absolutely beautiful. So one felt like a nice, hard baseball bat, and the other one, I don't know how to describe it, really felt like a paintbrush. You know, does that make sense?
It makes sense.
Really
You know I'm a singer.
Oh.
I'm not a very good one, but I am a singer. So for me, one felt like I'm singing on stage. The other felt like I was in a coffee shop having an intimate conversation.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, you know, but it's amazing that even, it's a little bit like having the microphone mic, like the piano being mic'd. The stronger piano, again, I could still have a lot of colors with it, but it's just on a higher dynamic range.
Right.
Whereas the other piano was just, wasn't the same, but it felt like I still had a wide range of colors, but just, I don't know, just really prepared for a smaller space, and that you could really hear more subtle differences. It was really, both of them are magnificent instruments that I would love to have in my living room, but I want to have a much larger living room for the louder piano.
Of course.
Wow.
Thank you so much for taking the time.
Oh,
this is fun.
absolutely.
Let's do this again, and you come back with us.
Thank you. So until the next episode of Piano Tastings,
I'm Rich Galassini.
and I'm Hugh Sung.
Thanks for watching.